It's gonna be like that today, huh? Let's get to yapping. Hi, friends. How you guys doing today? If you're new here, hi. My name is Special Between the Covers, and I do my makeup and I talk about smut books at the same time. So if you like a bit of books, if you like a bit of makeup, if you like a bit of yapping, hi, hey, I'm the girly for you. If you don't like makeup, that's okay. If you don't like books, that's okay. But if you actively do not like one of those things or both of those things, go sort that out. But click off the video because I don't have to be for you. That's okay. If you're returning, hey bestie, hey, thanks so much for coming back and showing me lots of love and support. We just recently hit 100 subscribers, so I'm super duper excited. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to me that I can sit here and be silly, goofy, and yap about books and do my makeup. But yeah. So without further ado, we're gonna get into our regularly scheduled program of books and makeup. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about Eyes on Me by Sara Cate. Um, this one is this one's interesting. It's a little steamy, little taboo, but we'll get into it. I already have my bangs out of my face because I just took a shower. So my hair's a little damp, and yeah. So before I like come back with finished makeup later, I'll have like blown out my hair and whatever. But for now, just roll with it. But I'm gonna get everything all set up in front of me, and I'll catch you on the flip. Alrighty. So, Eyes on Me takes place shortly after Praise, I think. I don't know. The timeline, like I said, is really weird and I don't quite understand it. But um it includes another owner of the Salacious Players Club, Garrett, and our female main character, Mia. She is a thick queen, and we love her. She's very body pause and does cam girling to feel empowered in her body and feel, super sexy and whatever. She doesn't have to be this skinny mini queen to feel like a goddess. And I love that. But I mean, the money's cool too. So, whatever. But she does it to just reclaim her body and empower herself. And I love that. But anyway, Mia is Garrett's stepsister. What? Yep, you heard me correctly. Mia is Garrett's stepsister. So, put the pieces of the puzzle together, and you've got your story right there. So, Garrett gets invited to his family's like lake house cabin thing for like a little vacation trip week off type thing because Garrett's been working himself to the bone since the club opened, and his family's like, hey, you know, you deserve a break. And Garrett's like, no, I can't take a break. Sorry. Too busy. Got too many things going on at the club. So Garrett goes back to his apartment one night and he's like, I'm feeling a little jazzed. I feel like I need to jerk my peanuts. So he goes on this Camgirl app and he sees this beautiful young woman. But who is it? You got 10 seconds, not even. It's Mia. And he's like, "Oh shit. That's my stepsister. What's she doing on here? Hello?" And he doesn't even really think. So he like impulsively requests a private room with her, whatever, private video session, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. Um, and she's like, okay, cool. She accepts it, whatever. And now Garrett's scrambling. He's like, oh shit. Now what? So Garrett comes up with this fake persona, and he names his persona Drake. And Drake is a real person in the Salacious Players Club world. Drake is the like head of construction for Salacious, and he is the other owner, Hunter's best friend. So he, Garrett, um, takes on this Drake persona to talk to Mia, and she, is doing her little cam girl business. So she's like, "Oh, well, like, why don't you come on camera and whatever, show me what we're working with?" And he's like, "No, I'm shy. I just want to see you." Blah blah blah. And Garrett is wildly attracted to Mia, and he's like, "What is going on? Like, I what?" Because they've hated each other since they were kids. So why all of a sudden is Garrett feeling this attraction? Is it just because, he likes to watch? Garrett's a voyeur. Excuse me. Garrett's a voyeur, so that's just his thing. But his stepsister, what is this? What is this newfound attraction? So Garrett keeps talking to Mia, and he decides now he's gonna go on this little family vacay trip to the lake house and figure out what is going on with his feelings for Mia. Is it just, you know, she's hot, or is there something else there? So Garrett goes, he talks to um, Emerson, Jesus Christmas. Okay, yeah, he talks to Emerson and Hunter, and he's like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna take like a week off and go to my family's lake house." And they're like, "Thank God, dude! Like, you need a break. We love having you here, but like, GD fam, you need some time off." So Garrett packs his stuff and he goes to the lake house, and he goes and he acts like a total dick to Mia as per usual, because play cool, play normal. You can't act like you just saw her lady bits and jerked off to it. No, 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 no. Can't do that. So Garrett goes and he's just acting like his normal charming stepbrother self. And Mia's like, "Damn it, like, why do you have to be here? Why do you have to ruin all the fun?" But Mia also is attracted to Garrett. Big surprise there. Um, what kind of romance book would it be if it weren't like that? So Mia is also attracted to Garrett, but again, they have had this relationship of hating each other for their whole entire life so far. But the more that we read the story, the more we find out that Garrett never actually really hated Mia. He was just protecting her because he was just in a really dark place. He struggled a lot with depression, and on her, I don't know, 12th, 13th birthday, something like that, um, Garrett was in a really dark place, and he wanted to Kermit sewer slide and attempted to do so. And after that, just locked himself away. Did not interact really with her or anyone in the family, but just pushed her away so that she wouldn't have to get hurt if he weren't around anymore. But since then, Garrett is better, and he's just kind of turned himself off in the world to relationships and real emotions and stuff like that. Typical man behavior, I guess. Um, but Garrett is just sheltered now, and this is why he likes being a voyeur too, because he can just watch. But he's missing that connection piece now. Now that he's seen Mia on the Camgirl app and found this new or honestly probably existing attraction to his stepsister, he's like, maybe feelings and stuff aren't so bad. So Garrett ends up pursuing these feelings, and he's still talking to Mia on the app as Drake. And Mia's getting really close to Drake, and Garrett's kind of in a pickle because he's being two different people, but the same person, but two different people, talking to Mia, and Mia likes the app version of him, and he's addicted to the app from talking to her and also seeing her. Wow, I look crazy. I gotta pin this little guy out of the way. Maybe. Do I have something over here? I look crazy, but we're still gonna go with it. But anyway, um, Garrett's addicted to the app so that he can talk to her and not be his true self realistically, I guess. um but still talk to her. But the deeper that they get into everything, the more he's like, well, I'm gonna have to come out with it sooner or later. So he does eventually. I'll just spoil that for you now. Garrett ends up coming clean, but in a really really shitty way. So obviously, the more time that they spend together at the lake house, the closer that they're gonna get, and the more, Garrett's gonna explore the feelings that he has for Mia. So they end up having some fun. Um, Garrett takes Mia out on a trail, and they end up fooling around in the woods. Because obviously, for a voyeur, you also need an exhibitionist. Mia, cam girl, exhibitionist. Makes sense. Pieces of the puzzle, they click, they fit. So Garrett ends up having his fun with Mia in the woods, and they're like, all right, yeah. We one time thing, we're not doing this again, but also, hello, you're gonna do it again. So then the parents end up taking Mia and Garrett out to this like karaoke bar place, and they also try to set Mia up with this guy that they're like mutual friends with the parents of whatever. And dude knows that Mia is a cam girl, and he's like texting his friends. He's like, blah, 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 bet she'll suck my dingling, blah, like whatever. So Garrett ends up rocking his shit because he's like, no, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna treat my stepsister that way. And Garrett's also being mad, peanut butter and jealous because this guy is not really showing Mia any real attention or anything like that, and he finds that her awful karaoke is not amusing or anything like that. Like, he just wants to get his pee pee wet. So, red flag city. But Gare Bear is not for that. So he puts an end to it naturally, and Mia's like, "Oh my God, my savior!" Uh, so you know how everything goes down. Um, and then finally, Garrett starts thinking more about what's going on between them, and he wants to he wants to pursue things. He wants things to get a little more intimate. He don't give a damn that they're step siblings. He said, "Why would I care?" Okay, you do you, Care Bear. But Mia's also on the same page. She's like, "Well, I find Garrett attractive." Again, clearly went over this already, but they end up deciding to be together, but at what cost? You know? And I should also mention that Mia's dad, slash Garrett's stepdad, is ill. He has cancer or had cancer. Um, damn, my throat is not goating today. Anyway, um, but Mia's dad has cancer, and he was doing fine. But one day, he has a little episode, and at this point, Mia's spending a lot of time with Garrett, a lot, like at his apartment and everything like that. And one day, who shows up at the apartment when Garrett's not there? Drake, the real Drake. And Mia's like, oh, that's weird. And she's talking to Drake, and she's kind of looking at him like, could you possibly be the guy that I've been talking to online? And Garrett comes back to his apartment, and he's like, oh shit. And it ends up creating a fight between, well, not really like a fight, but it creates a little distrustful moment between Garrett and Mia, because now Garrett comes clean that he has been Drake on the app the whole time. And Mia's like, no, you can't be. That's not, no, mm-mm. But obviously, yeah, that's the truth. And all this goes down. So, um, Drake comes to the apartment right after Garrett takes Mia to his apartment because they came from the hospital. Okay, yeah. I have to retrace my steps here and like go order of events. So Mia then is big as Sadie Scatty, and Gary Bear holds up again, and finally he decides to go to the hospital and have a talk with his mom about how he feels about Mia and whatever. And Garrett's mom's like, boy, I've been known, okay? Like, I could tell something was going on, but if you're happy and she's happy, then who are we to judge, you know? I don't know if I think his name is Phil. I don't know if Phil's gonna, be on the same page right away, but we'll get there. It's gonna be weird, but we'll we'll get there in the end. So Phil's knocked out too during this conversation. In the hospital, Phil is EPCP, going through that hospital stress. So he's not aware of this combo, but Garrett's mom brings him up to speed when time comes. But also, Phil has also been known. He had his suspicion, so makes sense. Nobody. It's not news to anybody. They're like, yeah, okay. Thanks for finally coming out with it. The frick. But um, Mia ends up being brought into the club as an ideal girl, and at first Garrett's like, I don't like this. I don't like the idea of this, but they need. Whoops. Sorry. They need somebody with like a following, and they need ideas to get more signups to the club, because the club is successful. They're having a really great time with everything, but membership is down, and they need some more. So they want to get some new and exciting things going on in there. So what do? Bring in an influencer. Well, a cam girl, and then they bring in like influencers and stuff like that. So they decide to have like a little event type thing. Um, but Mia is the one that draws the biggest crowd. She gets her own little voyeur room, uh, and has her little performance in there. And it is wildly successful. Big, big, big success. So Mia ends up getting, like a permanent spot at the club to do her little thing, her little performance. Uh and you know, Garrett's not jelly or anything like that because he's like, "Yep, that's my girl. That's my girl." Diddling herself in front of everybody, but everybody loves it. Everybody is big jazzed um, when Mia is doing her little thingy thing. So hey, whatever, cool beans. But then signups go up, and everybody is super duper happy. Works out all the way around. But then when Phil gets out of the hospital, he isn't thrilled to learn about Garrett and Mia, but again, he's like, well, if it's what makes you guys happy, again, it's not going to be uh, an overnight thing where we're just going to be super duper accepting and like chill with this, but like we'll get there, you know. We'll get there one step at a time. So they get to live happily ever after in the end, and then there's the epilogue. And like I said, I don't really know where, in what timeline this or like these epilogues take place, but Garrett and Mia end up getting married, and they're trying to have a baby, but I'm like, what? Where is the what is the time? Because I think this is like 2 years later or a year later or something like that. But I thought that the epilogues are supposed to tie in with like what goes on in the next book or like books. But no, no, makes no sense to me. Well, at least this one doesn't. Because in the next book, Garrett and Mia, like, yeah, I think they're together. I don't know if they're married yet, but they definitely aren't having kids. So I don't know. Whatever. What do I know? But this was an interesting read. I'm not I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum, okay? Was it good spice? Absolutely. Good soup. Love it. Um but I don't know, I'm trying to think of like my negatives for this one. Cause like I don't really care too much about like again that taboo, whatever. Live your life. Who am I? Um, although like the whole time it's like, step bro, what are you doing? That's just the things that go on in my head. But age gap, that doesn't really bother me either because there's like a 12 or 13 year gap between Garrett and Mia. And like spicy little romance books, I don't care. As long as they are two consenting adults, don't care. Don't care. um, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with the book. I just feel like because of how close they were from the start, I mean, granted, their relationship wasn't the best, but also, again, like I said, Garrett really just treated her like a dickhead to protect her so that she wouldn't miss him in the event that he decided to unalive to leave this mortal plane. But yeah, I don't know. There was just something that wasn't doing it for me. Again, though, I thought it was a good read. Don't get me wrong, it was a good read, but there was just something. Can't put my fingy on it, but something. I don't know. But what do you guys think about the whole step sibling taboo? Like I said, I was just kind of sitting there giggling to myself just over the whole thing cuz I am 12 years old. When it comes to shit like that, I'm just like you know, just freaking dork. But yeah, I don't know. It was spicy nonetheless. Who am I? 24601. Um Shout out to anybody that understood that. Lame as a Rob. Little nod. Um but yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like I have too much to say about it. Like, it was good. Good soup. Very good spice. But yeah. I don't know. I'm I feel like the stories that come next, but like not I don't the next one's okay. Cuz the next one has to do more with polyamory and um like sexuality and um overcoming internalized homophobia and stuff like that. So that one really powerful, but also kind of mid in everything. Also, okay, I hate to be that guy, but the next book I could not for the freaking life of me stand the narration of Isabel. I know that I'm jumping ahead of myself, but this is just what's on my mind at the moment. I couldn't stand, and I'm so sorry because I'm sure that the narrator is a really lovely woman, but I could not stand the sound of her voice. This one, Eyes on Me, I didn't listen to the audiobook. I was able to just raw dog read it um because I had slightly more time on my hands, I guess, for whatever reason. What the hell was I doing that I didn't listen to the audiobook? I don't know. But I feel like now I need to go back and do so just because I need to know what everybody sounds like. Yeah, I don't know. I listened to the Give Me More audiobook and Highest Bidder and Madam, but I didn't listen to. Wait, there was another one. Mercy. I listened to the audiobook for that one too. I was like, damn, what am I forgetting? Ow, I just stabbed myself in the tear duct. That hurt. That did not feel nice. Um, Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I didn't listen to the audiobook for Praise, and I didn't listen to the audiobook for um Eyes on Me. The more you know. I didn't really feel like I needed to. I guess reading at home and not listening to the audiobook was enough. Huh. Interesting. Well, interesting to me because I forget um what I do, you know? I'm just a little lad at the end of the day. But I'm gonna set this and do my eyebrows and eyeliner. And I'll be right back with like my final thoughts. I'm also gonna blow dry my hair so I come back looking presentable for you. But I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Alright. Hair's all dried, liner's on, mascara's on, little doots are on, brows are on. I'm undecided if I want to do little spikes. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. But we just need some highlighter and a lippy and some setting spray, and we're all done. But overall, I would give Eyes on Me a 7 out of 10. Is very good. I don't know really what could improve. Like I said, other than like the relationship between Mia and Garrett prior, like I feel like there should have been maybe a little bit more pushback on Mia's side, but because she was already so kind of head over heels for Garrett, even though it was wrong, um, meh. like I've said previously, I've had time to sit on these books, and sit with my feelings before sitting here and yapping about them. But I feel like right off the bat, it would have been like, oh my god, this book was so good. Um, I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong, but uh, it's not like 10 out of 10. There's definitely room for improvement, but I don't know. Definitely a 7 out of 10 though. I'm very pleased with the fact that Mia wasn't like a tiny little twig, and there is representation for the curvy girls of the world. Uh, so that was super slay. I also will definitely give Sara Cate some praise. No pun intended for you know, that being a book in the series, but I'll give Sara Cate some praise for going into like the the voyeurism of things, because I feel like a lot of these romance books, as far as the ones that I've read so far, not too many go heavy on the people that like to watch. It's mostly like dominant, submissive relationships and stuff like that. So hell yeah for the voyeur exhibitionist relationship. Good on you, Sara Cate. Good on you. I wonder how much research went into these beforehand. You know, like I wonder if Sara Cate was diving deep, hitting the books on these kinks to really write them true to how they are. But I don't know. Only Only one way to find out. And that's by asking. So, if anybody knows Sara Cate, ask for me. I could maybe send an email, but am I going to do that? No. That's weird. So, if you're out there and somehow, some way, you know Sara Cate or are Sara Cate, let me know. I need to know what the writing process was like. You know, how much research went into this beforehand, if any. Maybe maybe that's what Sara Cate's into, and then just being that dom sub relationships are so prevalent in a lot of media that was easier to write about. But also too, like I wonder what the process of like writing about a sex club is like. I'm sure she probably had to do research on that, right? I don't know. Whatever. That's it's off topic, and it's just the things that I think about. Um, but minus the setting spray, we're done. So thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I know that this was kind of a shorty one. I feel like the Salacious Players Club series is kind of short, so I can kind of go through these relatively quickly, and I keep doing like more simplistic makeup to be able to talk about these. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you made it this far in the video, let me know. Hmm, what is your what's your favorite beverage? Mine is mine's orange juice. I'm a slut for orange juice. I know that y'all see me drinking a lot of Monster, but I could mess up a jug of orange juice. No time. In no time. Gone. You blink, orange juice is gone. But anyway. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. If you like the video, please go ahead and toss it a like. If you dislike the video, you can do that too. Dislike it. That's okay. No hard feelings there. Next week. Next week, I think we might talk about the ritual. I'll get some two series going at once. All right, maybe I don't know. I also just finished reading Her Soul to Take recently, so I've got that I could talk about too. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you would rather the ritual or Her Soul to Take. Both are actually parts of series, so either way, we'll be talking about a book that's part of a series, just not Salacious Players Club series. Because, like I said, I think I'm gonna alternate, but I don't know. We shall see. Also, too, sorry, before I wrap everything up, I would like to apologize for not uploading last week. I had a busy little weekend, so I did not get the time to sit down and record for y'all. But I'll make it up to you somehow, some way. We're getting one. We're getting an upload now. At least it's not been a month. But anyway, thanks for hanging out today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next one. Bye.